everybody, it's Mrs. Oliver here. Today we're going to do an experiment that involves salt, water, eggs. Oh my. Now, we just read the story, Salt in His Shoes. So let's have a look at what salt really can do. Here we go. First off, you'll need a glass of water. Each of these are jars that are see-through. You're probably going to want to have a jar that's see-through, so ask your parents about a glass jar or a plastic that's clear. These jars actually had some labels on the back of them, but I wasn't able to scrub off all of the glue, so if that's what you're seeing. Now, which container appears to have salt? You got it. I was staring this one. This container in the middle has salt. Now, boys and girls, this is how much salt I poured into it, and you need to know this so that you can go ahead and start mixing up the salt, because it does take a while for the salt to dissolve. So watch this. I did this, watch how many seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did that 6 times. So a total of 6 times. And if you don't get the results that you're looking for, you're going to want to just add more salt. Okay? Alright, so you stir, get it really, really stirred up. Now, let's make a prediction. What do you think will happen to the egg when I place the egg in this water? Interesting. What do you think will happen when I place this egg in the water with salt? Aha. Same results or different? Let's check it out. When I place the egg in a jar of no salt water, the egg sinks. Now, boys and girls, it's important to know that these two jars had the same amount of water. The only difference is this water has salt. Do you think that you'll get the same result with this egg in this jar of water? Let's check it out. Oh my. It's even doing a little dance. Wow. Now, this egg is floating. It has to do with the word density. All right? That's really not a second grade vocabulary word, but it is so good to know, because the only thing that we changed was adding salt to the water. Think about that when you're thinking about even the ocean water. What is the difference between not just the way that it tastes, but what's the difference between the way things react in the ocean water compared to how it would act even in just a swimming pool or a sink or a lake? Now, boys and girls, this glass of water has no salt. What do you think will happen when I place it in? Just like the first jar with no salt, the egg began to sink. Now watch this. You're going to need quite a bit of salt. Watch me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count it to about 6. The trick here is that you stir it up really, really good. And I mean really good. You know what? I think I might even put a little bit more salt. Too much salt can't hurt in this situation. Too much salt on your food? Ew. Yucko shmucko. Y'all ready for this? Stirring it up. How can I check to make sure it's stirred up? I still see some salt. You'll see why I mixed this jar up before we got on. Well, what do you know? A nicely floating egg. But what happens when I add regular water to this cup? It's in salt water. The egg is floating in the salt water. It sinks in the regular water. What happens if I add regular water? I'm going to slowly add the water. Wow! Regular salt water, egg at the bottom. I'm sorry, regular water without salt, egg sinks to the bottom. Jar, same amount of water, salt, the egg floats. Half the amount of water with salt, the egg floats. But when you add regular water on top, the egg still stays where it was floating. Oh my goodness, boys and girls. This is a perfect introduction to the word density. Do you think it would make a difference with other objects instead of eggs? Could you use a car, like a toy car? Could you use a balloon? What if you didn't use water? What if you used a different type of liquid? Comment down below if you do this experiment or if you change anything while you try to perform an experiment like this. But don't forget the salt. Have a great day, boys and girls. I will see you soon.